Someone who has become a rock that feels strikes a balance between feeling sometimes and not feeling at all at other times. He does it by making a distinction between negative emotions, those that cloud judgment, like anger, excessive grief, or fear, and positive emotions, such as love, empathy, and concern for others. But what enables him to make that distinction? It's the understanding and acceptance of reality, both ours, which is the human condition, and that of the reality we live in, the way nature works. And how does he arrive at that understanding? With Stoic reflection. And what does that reveal? It reveals that at the heart of our experience, there is a strong desire for our survival and well-being, driving us to control whatever ensures it. The human mind, because of the freedom it experiences in its thoughts, fails to grasp the lack of freedom outside those thoughts. Our thoughts can, literally, go anywhere and do anything. Upon reflection, you discover another fact, that of our wants, of the desires to go beyond just our well-being to claiming everything for ourselves and taking anything we'd like to have. And when not such self-centered demands, then those of bending reality, nature's law of impermanence, and the flow of time to prevent death and decay. This is where our nature to control things takes a turn for the worst. This is where we run into emotions, the unnecessary and destructive ones, the ones that set us up for future troubles. This is where the rock that feels makes a distinction and regulates the negative emotions. He realizes the two things that could oppose his goals, humans and the nature that governs us. For both, he practices detachment selectively, and for both, he accepts what they bring fully. The Stoic, who is the rock that feels, understands that unnecessary emotions result from a desire to control what we actually don't control, so he detaches himself only from that desire to regulate his emotions, detaching from others' actions and nature's laws and the events that take place as a result of them. He does so by realizing that negative emotions are natural and events themselves are neutral. It is our faulty judgments about or unrealistic expectations from those events that cause emotional disturbances. In the same strain of thought, he recognizes the interconnectedness of humanity through nature and reason, as well as the experience that the natural order of things brings with it. He doesn't feel the need to detach from the larger human experience, nor from appreciating the cycles of nature that bring adversity along to make us stronger. And so, in practicing detachment and letting go, he strikes a balance between the regulation of emotions, which contributes to his emotional resilience, and the retention of empathy and compassion for both humans and nature, which contributes to his mental well-being. The rock that feels masters his emotions while remaining open and connected to the world around him. He doesn't become indifferent to the struggles of others or the turn of nature. He acts justly, shows kindness and cares for others, but does so without being emotionally overwhelmed by their actions or circumstances. He is strong like a rock in the face of adversity, but also compassionate in his interactions with others. But that is just half of it. Next, he accepts wholeheartedly everything life might throw at him. That includes what others will do to him and what nature in its constancy of change will bring. He could be lied to, cheated, and harmed by others, just as he could be ridden with diseases and the natural loss of his near and dear ones. Worst of all, he can die, but everybody dies. So he will die too. That's what happens. That's what has to happen to everyone, and he knows he is no exception. He comes to love his fate no matter what it brings, practicing Amor Fati, so to speak. Similarly, he comes to love the suddenness, the capriciousness of nature, for it was this quirk of nature that brought him into being. Call it destiny. Call it the will of the universe. Call it the initial impulse that set everything in motion. He accepts it because he knows he can do only one thing about it: accept it for his inner peace. He sees everything humans and fortune might bring as natural. In this acceptance, the rock feels for others, feels himself to be a natural part of nature because he has control over his negative emotions, even when his desires are hindered. This control lets him find beauty in the indifference of nature and forgive the malice of humans, seeing them as nothing more than the result of being uninitiated in important matters. This is what lets the Stoic become undefeatable and be unshakable. To become a rock in Stoicism means to develop inner strength and emotional stability, so you are not easily disturbed by external events, opinions, or setbacks. It is to strive to remain grounded, like a rock, no matter the storm. A rock that feels, maintains equanimity while remaining engaged with the world. It doesn't mean retreating from life or shutting down emotions, but rather engaging with life fully while keeping a level-headed perspective. It is to care for others and for the world, but without becoming enslaved to emotional highs and lows. In Stoic terms, it means cultivating inner strength and resilience, remaining unshaken by external forces, while also maintaining empathy, justice, and compassion toward others. This balance, remaining grounded yet emotionally connected, reflects the Stoic ideal of living in accordance with nature and reason, where one is able to engage with the world without being overwhelmed by its challenges. Whatever happens to you has been waiting to happen since the beginning of time. Everything changes when you truly hear what Stoicism has been telling us all along. Everything gets better. Your self-discipline, your self-control, your temperance, your cultivation of inner peace and resilience, your self-awareness, your equanimity. You practice forgiveness more often. You stop caring what others think. You start to live with a sense of calm, clarity, and purpose. Even the practice of Stoic principles of the dichotomy of control, negative visualization, memento mori, amor fati, and the view from above gets easier and, more importantly, effective.